Alright, so look, the Detroit Pistons suck. Like for real, they should be sent to the G League. There's no reason at all a team in the NBA should be this bad. But hey, the Detroit Pistons have found a way to be just flat out terrible. Now if you've been over here at Hoop Mastery, you know I hate to talk down on a player or a team, but when the facts blatantly show how lackluster their performances are, it's hard to find a positive way to say things. Currently, this team is 2-27 on the season, sitting not only dead last in the Eastern Conference at the 15th seed, but across the whole entire association, the Pistons are dead last as well as the 30th ranked team in the standings. Yeah, it's pretty rough when you get into the ins and outs of this team, but trust me, it doesn't just stop there. The Pistons are the third worst team in offensive rating at 107 points per game, fifth worst in defensive rating at 119, and are second to last in net rating at negative 11.4. So right there alone, you can see how much the Pistons are struggling, and it's going to take a lot for this team to turn the disaster of this season around. Like, come on, I'm not playing when I say this team needs to get sent to the G League. What could they do to even improve? I mean, they just need to go ahead and sweep the whole roster and bring in everybody new. Because at this point, the chemistry is torched over there. You got guys that can't shoot, guys that can't dribble, guys that can't defend, guys that just don't even know what they doing on the court with low IQ. I mean, you can't make it up. If I had to rock myself, I could easily hit somebody with the ha and mix them up. See how quick I'm moving? I'm like a glitch out here on the screen. But it seems like the Detroit Pistons are not being able to do that. They really can't pour it in from deep, and that limits the spacing. If you can't shoot, then what are teams gonna do? They're just gonna sink in. Now you have to handle the rock and penetrate the inside. Now what happens when we have guys who can't drop the ball either? So now we can't shoot, we can't drive inside, and then our bigs are incompetent and they can't score inside either. So what really does that leave us? All it leaves is Cade Cunningham, who can direct traffic, who can get into the seams of the D. But guess what? Once he gets there, he ain't got nobody to dish it to. It's just him out there by himself at this point, and it's really heartbreaking to say the least. Cade is such a special player with high IQ. He can pass the rock. He got a smooth jumper on him that can use some work on the efficiency. But hey, I blame it all on this Pistons team because the spacing sucks. He has a lot of pressure on his back. And hey, this is his first season really being all the way healthy and showcasing everything he can do. And it seems like it's all going to waste. The Pistons literally have Cade in a straitjacket and he can't really do much. Please get him out of there because the talent is going to waste. For all the haters of Cade Cunningham out there that say, oh, his efficiency sucks, he turns it over too much, he does this, he does that. I'm gonna go ahead and break down his game all the way so I can show you just how special of a player he is, and it's really the team that he's on that's not letting him shine. The way Cade controls the game when he's on the floor makes you really appreciate his rather smooth playstyle. He seemingly never sped up and he dictates the pace at which he operates at, so it's hard to get Cunningham out of control, and this is the main reason as to why Cade can weave in and out of defenses, find his guys around the court, and also get to the sweet spots to knock down his jumper. The way he can shift the entire defense's attention to him makes life easier for all of his teammates with his high level of passing, and at his age of 22 years young, he's already one of the most unselfish players in the league. His game jumpstarts with him fiending to find his teammates for easy layups, setting them up for thunderous backdoor slams, or even zipping out passes to the perimeter for wide open buckets. Being Hawkeye when controlling this offense leads him to being an impactful floor general, and when you see some of these dimes he dishes out, it just makes you wonder how much more effective he could be if he was surrounded by a better supporting cast. If you watch some games, you'll see defenses shrink the floor completely due to this team's lack of shooting, so it lands Cade in situations where he's crowded with multiple defenders, but his court vision is so superb that he'll notice his backline defender shifting over, so directly off the bounce, he can zip it across the court to a wide open Hayes, who instead of being able to shoot the three ball confidently, opts into this more difficult fall away midi. Opposing teams have such little respect for the three-point shooting, as this Pistons team is just awful, pouring it in from deep at only 33% made per game, which lands them at the bottom of the league, so teams are more than comfortable catering tons of attention to Cunningham, which in turn opens up guys on the perimeter for easy looks. Now when they shrink the floor and center the attention to Cade, it doesn't always end up in him being able to whip it across the court to the guy left open, as defenses will tend to send a blitz at him directly off the pick and roll actions, so in this moment Cade has to think on his feet and make the best decision. With no care in the world for the roll man, Atlanta just blitzes Cade with a high level of aggression, but with his poised nature, Cade is still able to pivot away, spot the mismatch down low with his vision, and send it to the paint for the gimme right in the post. To pull off assists like this, you must have a high level of patience, calmness, and court awareness, because in all reality, if you're being doubled, well that leaves a man left open, you just have to have the tools in your bag to find him in that short window of time. You'll see these doubles be smoothly initiated sometimes instead of a more gun at you approach, but even when the defense thinks they'll secretly trap Cade, he's already 2 steps ahead of them and can drop this pass right through both defenders for Bagley to the trip to the rim. Yeah, it happens so fast that you must be ready at all times, as only high-level guards can adjust to what the defense throws at them in a split second. Being able to spot his guys helps him get easier assists, as not only will they be wide open on the perimeter, but he can also find them if they cut to the basket as well. Dishing out 7 assists per game this season, some might say that's pretty low for such a great passer. Well, trust me, the numbers don't tell the whole story, but if you do want to dig a little deeper, Cade is right outside the top 10 in potential assists per game, as he's ranked at number 11 with 12 potential assists dished out a night, and for his adjusted assist total, which accounts for free throws and secondary assists as well, Cunningham sits right outside the top 10, ranked at number 12 with 8.7 a game. So the numbers game is one thing, but you must pass the eye test to really be valid in this league. Obviously, you can see from just the tiny bit we've seen so far that Cade can make fantastic reads, but what happens when the defense doesn't trap Cade and he must create something out of nothing or make the defense shift towards him to drop these dimes off? Well, to be honest, this is when his finds become even more eye-catching and the defense can't fall asleep whatsoever, because from anywhere on the court, Cade can scope out the entire floor and find the best option to help his guys succeed. For defenders, it's best that they stop Cade before he gets a head of steam going up the court, because that's where his laser-like vision gets activated and he can set up his teammates on the run for them to go finish easily on the break. After grabbing this board here, you can see Cade already has his eyes down the floor ready to find a man running in transition, and off one dribble, he throws a bullet to Ivy on the run out as he soars in to go finish the and one. Being able to convert in such a quick manner like this makes the defense have to be aware at all times once the ball touches Cade's hands, as he'll beat you down the floor with a quickness, but also with his deceptive nature. When he looks at Ivy on this push up the floor, it makes Jones stop and point in that direction for someone to pick up Ivy, but Cade was already plotting on something else, so this lookover was just a setup so he could bounce it right in between 1, 2, 3 defenders, right on the money to Thompson for the backdoor flush. Trust me, these passes aren't just so easy to make, and at times they can actually be super difficult, as he has to make sure he drops them off in a timely manner or else the entire play will blow right up. Since defenses know that Cade can drop it off to teammates in these scenarios, they might coast right with him since he could dime it up behind him, but with his fearless nature, he says I got this, and punches it right through as AD tries to block him. It truly takes a different level of court vision, accuracy, and hell, I'll say it, some balls to make these passes and finishes moving at higher speeds when on the break, and this transfers right into his half-court creation. When breaking down the defense with his handle, pace, and court navigation, when he gets caught in no man's land where you think there's not much he can do, what do you think happens next? Does he push right through to reverse it on the other side of the rim? Does he whip it out to Sasser on the 3? Or does he kick it out to Thompson in the corner? Alright, 3, 2, 1. If you guessed the kick out to Marcus on the 3, then you will be correct. Passes like that are tough, as he just deceives the defense with these non-telegraphed passes. So just when you think he's going to throw it out to the corner for the wide open 3 ball, well, not only he doesn't do that because the 3-point scoring is piss poor, but he likes to stay 2 steps ahead of the defense on the court and patiently floats in the air while leaving it to Stewart to run through and coast in for the layup at the front of the rim. Opportunities like this are open time and time again for Cade, as he understands how to probe into the defense to make gaps even more open for guys to slice through, and at that point, it all just depends on if his teammates notice the openings and decide to cut through to the basket. If he was surrounded by much better shooters, then his ability to sink the defense would be that much more deadly, because instead of getting caught here in a pool of yellow, Cade could have dished it to Stanley Amude on the 3 earlier on this drive, but nah, he's more confident in this difficult wraparound to Duran for the slam inside. Yeah, it's already looking like a masterclass when it comes to his savvy passing. There are more layers to Cade's game as far as his scoring ability, but we'll save that for another video, as I just wanted to highlight how effective he can be when it comes to helping a team succeed with his traditional point guard skills. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this Kevin Durant analysis. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.